All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. This is our monthly series, Work Smarter, Not Harder. My name is Tiffany Russell. I am our product evangelist, and the topic of today is automation tools that you can use today. So what does that mean? I'm going to be covering a few things that are a lighter lift on the implementation side, as well as adoption. If you're a current HubSync client, you could be using these today. If you're a prospect, they're quick to implement. It would be something that you would find valuable in your day-to-day interactions, as well as the coming weeks during busy season. Our agenda, what we'll be discussing, the first thing we'll demonstrate and walk through is our client file sharing capabilities through Outlook plugin, as well as our shared links through the workspace. I'm going to showcase something brand new that we launched on January 20th. This is our new feature for request files that's also available from within the workspace. We'll cover our My Signatures module. This was launched last winter. What is My Signature? Well, we've already had e-signature capability with our engagement letter wizard, as well as through our tax return delivery 8879 module, where we're collecting e-signatures on e-file authorization consent forms. My Signatures covers everything else. So we would receive the question, what do I do with any other document that I need to get a signature on? Do I use another third-party tool, a disparate system, that's out there in the firm, it's not being monitored? My Signatures handles that. So I'll walk through the benefits, the capabilities. And then last and certainly not least, I couldn't help myself, the timing of the year, I do want to revisit and reshare what we're doing around our new experience, our modern experience for tax organizers and return delivery. All right, to get things started, we're going to talk about our Outlook plugin. So what is the Outlook plugin? It's an Outlook add-on. So every day we're living, we're breathing in Outlook, we're corresponding with internal team members and our clients. So with HubSync's Outlook plugin, you'll be able to send and request files from directly within Outlook. Yes, you can do this through HubSync, but the great thing about the Outlook plugin is you can send and request files either with clients who either have access to HubSync, or maybe it's a recipient that doesn't. If they are, maybe there's somebody that's just not active in the HubSync platform. You're already living and breathing in Outlook. This is a great place to go to be able to send and request files. How does it work? So once you're authenticated, you have the add-in. What you'll do to send files is you'll go out, drag and drop the document directly into Outlook. Maybe you'll browse out, find a folder that's already on your local network, and you'll upload that. You'll have the ability to select a path or a workspace inside of HubSync where that file will live. Your IT team will love the fact that there's password configuration settings that you can enforce with a complex, strong password. Have the ability to set expiration dates so you don't have links just floating out there indefinitely. This will give you the ability to say how many days or weeks do I want this link to be active for. And then, of course, you'll receive a notification as soon as any recipient has accessed your link. So once you have your link ready, you'll go ahead and drop it into your email, compose the body, complete the to field, the subject line, and click send. Once you send the link to any recipient, they'll access the link, you'll be notified, and then they'll have a place outside of HubSync where they can either download the files or upload files to you. Again, they don't have to authenticate into HubSync, and that's one of the positive features and benefits about the Outlook add-in, is it could be somebody that's not active in HubSync or a third party like a wealth metric advisor, an attorney, somebody else at the client or company that's just not used to being in HubSync. It's a quick and easy way to get files or share files directly from within Outlook. Next, I want to cover shared link functionality. Shared links happens from within a HubSync workspace. So we are logged into HubSync at this time. If you're not familiar with HubSync and you're asking, well, what's a workspace? A workspace is a literal working space where the work is happening. You might look at this image on screen and think, oh, it looks like a portal. It definitely has portal-like capabilities. We call it a workspace because there's so much more that you can do inside of HubSync. This is really your ultimate location for client collaboration. Every firm has a file and folder structure that they define and they set. So as documents live inside of either a client workspace or another workspace, in order to share that document with anyone, you just need to right-click and click Shared Link. If you're a current client saying to yourself right now, I'd love to be able to use this, go ahead and reach out to your customer success representative. It's very simple for us to turn it on for you. So once you right click to create that shared link, you'll be able to set some parameters around who can receive it. That again, IT can enforce that password complexity if that's a requirement, define the expiration, and receive a notification once your link is accessed, all from within the workspace. Copy the link, share it with your recipients. They'll get the link. You'll be able to have visibility from within inside of the workspace. There's a little link icon that shows up on the file to notify you that this is a shared file, and you can edit the link at any time. This leads me into what did we just release that's brand new? So similar to the shared link capability that you're seeing on the workspace, everything I just walked through, we released request files from the workspace. This was released on January 20th. If it's not enabled in your environment, you're a current firm with us at HubSync, reach out to us and we'll get it turned on for you. It behaves the same way. You'll right click on a folder and instead of choosing shared link, you're going to choose request files. It'll create a link. You'll be able to input information around that link, set the password, set the expiration, same thing, give that to your recipients. They'll, instead of downloading files now, they're going to upload files to you. The moment they do that, they're going to be readily available for you in the workspace for the folder that you selected, and you'll be notified that that's done. Next, we'll move into our My Signature capability. So as I mentioned, we've been in the game for a while now on the e-signature front. We're doing this with our Engagement Letter Wizard product. We're doing this on tax return delivery, e-file consent forms, but it's often asked, what about everything else? If you're managing multiple third-party e-signature tools, sometimes they're just difficult to standardize, difficult to monitor. And from the client experience, this can feel very clunky to receive e-signature emails. The process could feel different depending on the document. And the clients will ask, well, why does it look this way for one document and it looks different for my engagement letter? It looks different for my return. So it was inevitable that we were going to launch our My Signatures module. How does it work? So the My Signature module is you're going to begin by uploading a document into a separate workspace inside of HubSync. You'll have the capability of adding your own signature lines, your own date stamps. We have other fields that you can select, such as initials, text, pick list. You'll drop all these blocks in on any document that you want. Clicking send, your recipients will receive it. You can have more than one recipient. You can change the order and so on. Once sent, you're going to have a full tracking grid. The great thing about tracking when it comes to the operation side of a firm is anyone who's an administrator of HubSync has the visibility to see what everybody is sending through My Signatures. But most users can only see their own. So there's no more trying to go out to all of these third-party e-signature tools that you have commissioned inside of your firm. You know, maybe they're blowing your tech stack budget out of the water. You can decommission those other tools, use My Signatures, have the visibility. There's dashboards that can sit on top of this. There's different views all around reporting. We have our grid view, our calendar views, our Kanban views. They're all available. So there's transparency, which tends to be a very big pain point around isolated documents that are going out from any user or any employee at the firm. All right. Feel free as I go along to add any questions into the chat. I'm happy to answer them as I cover them. So feel free to drop those in and I will respond. I want to spend a large portion here of our time on our new tax organizer and return delivery experience. It's so fresh of mind. It's January 28th. It's most likely that you've already launched the majority, if not all, of your individual tax organizers. I've actually been very impressed with what I've seen statistic-wise around individual taxpayers already, completing their organizers, uploading documents, answering their questions. It just seems to be a little bit earlier than what I'm used to seeing, which is good news. But as we know, this is not the heaviest time. The next few weeks are really going to gear up, and this is going to feel, as it feels every year, just a big bulk of work at one time. So I want to talk a little bit about, we've already had a tax organizer module in our platform. We had a return delivery experience. So what makes this so new? What makes this modern? What's the big deal about it? So we incorporated feedback from our current clients, our prospects, our customers, and especially made a big focus around the entire client experience. So yes, we had an organizer. Yes, we had a delivery experience. We married those two things together to make this an entire tax return life cycle experience for our individual clients. We're launching organizers in bulk. Most likely we've already done this or we're doing this in the coming days. But as we're launching organizers in bulk, all of our clients are being notified, they're being invited into HubSync, and what do they see? They're getting an email, they're clicking into their workspace, and they're landing on a brand new dashboard that they didn't have before. This dashboard is going to give them insight, tracking, progress into everything throughout the life cycle of the tax return. We've launched, as you see on this screen, we've launched all of the steps except our tax engagement letter step. That is coming very soon, so I wanted to share that as it relates to the entire process. So on screen here, we're going to highlight and showcase 7 total steps in the experience. So for the clients, the very first step that will be coming is the engagement letter step. This is an integration that we have with our engagement letter wizard product. It's most likely you've already sent engagement letters out. Maybe that was the heat of November engagement letter season, but we don't always get those signatures back. So from the HubSync client experience standpoint, we want to make sure we give you another effort, another chance to get that signed engagement letter directly from in the workspace. Unfortunately, I still see it where engagement letters are being signed at the tax return delivery step with 8879s. I know that's not what anybody wants to see. It still happens. So this is getting another touch point, another chance to get that engagement letter signed. The client will then move into a second step that we call tax year updates. Tax year updates is the questionnaire portion of the organizer. Did you get married? Did you move? And so on. How they respond to these answers will tailor an experience in our complete tax organizer step. The complete tax organizer step is our modern electronic organizer where they're verifying their personal information that comes in directly integrated from the tax software. We have the integration with the document request list and the upload documents step. All of this happens in bulk. It's not one by one. As you are launching these, the integration just is there, right? In the complete tax organizer step, we launched new features around being able to see required sections, hidden sections. What are hidden sections? That means that they didn't have any prior year information pertaining to this section. They responded no to a question such as alimony. I didn't pay, I didn't receive any alimony, nor did I do so last year. It's not a required section, but perhaps they made a mistake moving that into a hidden bucket. And being able to apply progress tracking throughout the way. So as we look at adoption, oftentimes somebody will open this and be like, oh, this is too much work. This is not what I pay you for. If I had a dime for every time I heard that. Giving them a percentage tracker at the top is going to let them know, hey, this isn't going to take you as long as you think, and this will increase the level of adoption. We also added great new features into this step around commenting. So being able to comment on any section of the organizer and be able to use our rich text capabilities, our tagging so that you're notified. That's at mentioning capability. When you're printing the organizer, you're going to get a printed page of all of your comments. What part of the organizer were they tied to? Who left the comment? What was the comment detail and the date and time? And when they're all done, they can, of course, let you know that they're finished by clicking that button that says Submit to Tax Prepare. Good thing they can click it as many times as they want. Oftentimes clients go on extension. They're giving you maybe 80% of the information before April. They're getting you the last 20% in the summer months or ahead of the extended deadlines. They can click it again. Organizationally, you do have a method and visibility to see where all individual tax clients are throughout the process. How many times have they clicked the button, the last time they clicked the button, and so on and so forth. And the final steps, that's all around the last mile. So now that the return's ready, it needs to be delivered. You'll deliver the return from within HubSync. It delivers to the client. They'll review it. They'll e-sign their tax return, as well as be able to see any payment information related to either return payments or estimated payments. So this is an entire end-to-end experience around individual tax preparation. All right, I'm going to take this time to answer some of the questions in the chat. Feel free if you had questions from earlier on, you joined late. I can try to give a recap here at the end because we do have time. But please drop any questions in the chat that you may have. So my first question is, are you able to see what new files were uploaded from the new submission? So we don't download the same documents multiple times. So we do have an organizer tracking database that will show you how many documents you've requested, how many documents have been uploaded out of those requested documents. Something for our current clients that we're adding is a last downloaded date into this organizer tracking database. We do also have a new feature on the roadmap inside of the workspace to be able to see the last downloaded date. Another trick that I've seen firms do is that they create a folder inside of their workspace called the downloaded documents. As these processors, assembly team members are downloading documents, they're moving them into this folder. It gives them a tracking so that they know, hey, don't download this again or move it through the process multiple times. All right, so since I did have a few attendees trickle in late, I just want to kind of recap what we talked about, and I'll pay attention to see if we have any more questions in the chat. So earlier on, at the beginning of the call, we did walk through our client file sharing experience with our Outlook plugin. Again, if this is not something that you have in use today, your current HubSync client, please reach out to us so that we can get this enabled, as well as the shared links capability, the request files features from within the workspace. These are just feature flags that we can turn on at any time for you. They're quick and easy to turn on and deploy. All right, my next question is, how long does it take to stand an organizer up for an existing firm? It's a tough time of the year because this is when you are sending organizers, but if you don't have an electronic solution and this is something that you'd like to do, this is fairly simple from an implementation technology standpoint. The harder lift is the client adoption. So advice, things I've seen clients do in the past is they're really enforceful on client communication up front. Getting the email notification from HubSync should not be the first time that a client is hearing that this is how they're going to use the tool. So we need to allow ourselves enough runway to be able to notify the client, this is how we're going to be delivering your organizer. Here's instructions for the experience. Expect to receive your organizer on this date. If we can do a trickle campaign like that and notify your clients, it's not a difficult lift. Change management is probably the ultimate, differentiator. Your processes are in place at this time of the year. Most likely your staff are trained or still going through training here through next week. So it really does depend on how we can roll this out and make it the most meaningful for clients as well as change management internally. All right, I have another question. If I'm not currently a client, can I use the Outlook plugin for this busy season? The answer is yes. Our HubSync workspaces don't have to be necessarily client facing. So if you want to launch HubSync, stand up an environment, have internal workspaces, and or maybe invite a handful of clients, a subset, one office, up to you. But the Outlook plugin itself is a straightforward deployment. Okay, another question on the plugin. If I never have to leave my Outlook to send and share files, it's all done with Outlook. That's right. Yep, there's no need to leave Outlook. You can use it in the web version as well as the desktop version. There's no need to log into HubSync, have HubSync open at the same time. That's not necessary. You'll do that all from within Outlook. All right. Because time is precious, this is a quick webinar. I just want to call out again, this is a monthly series that we'll be doing every month. Be on the lookout for posts as we release the future topics for the subsequent months moving into the rest of the year. Feel free to join us. I sincerely appreciate your time. I know it's very, very valuable on January 28th and during busy season. If you have any questions for me, I'm going to put my email into the chat. You can email me at any time about anything I discussed today or any other topics. If you want to see more, you want a live demo, I know it's tough to click through every single step of the process within a 20 to 30 minute time frame. I'm happy to schedule additional time and answer any other questions you may have.